Welcome to Marty and Shane, Lifted and Twisted. Stories without borders, joy without limits. This is where hearts meet across cultures and everyday life becomes a story worth telling.
It's so good to be here, guys. What a beautiful, beautiful day we have. So, what we have for you today is a video that we recorded a few weeks ago, and it's about a woman who I met in a Goodwill store in West Palm Beach, and her name is Tamika. And we started talking when she checked me out, and her story was so profound to me. I immediately said, I want to share this with other people, especially moms that really need to, we all need hope sometimes. We all need to realize that life is precious, but we can overcome so much. So we want you to watch this video today of Tamika, and then maybe we can talk about what your thoughts were about it and what her message really meant to you. Okay, so here goes.
Have you ever seen these guys that go out on the street and they have a mic and they say, "So tell me what you think about this?" And they ask questions. Well, we want to be able to reach out. Shane is in California and I'm here, and she is from an Asian background, and I'm American. So we have like a lot of differences about us, but we also have a lot in common. And what we both want is to, of course, heal the world. And when I met you, I thought, here is a strong woman that can really be able to make other women that I know have gone through a lot stronger. And that's the whole idea, is for you. I want you to be comfortable with whatever you share. Yeah, worse. But so that's the whole idea. Is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Not really. Whatever you're comfortable with, then, we're happy to take that in, right? And I think your story is something that a lot of us women or girls can relate to, and we want to inspire everyone to be able to not lose themselves because something happened in life, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So we really appreciate you being here, and I'm really happy to meet you. I mean, we talked about you without so much without even meeting you. And today it's like, well, I can actually put a face to a name, and I'm really excited about that.
So, Tamika, when I met you a couple weeks ago, I could well, and you waited on me. First of all, you were really personable. And you were showing me a few things that I was asking for. And then you went over to the counter and I was paying. And I forget how it even came up. And when you said to me that you lost your mom and your daddy told me that your daughter was coming down. That's okay. And you wanted her to stay. And I said, you're trying to make her stay longer. Okay, now I remember. Hasn't been home for Christmas for over a decade. And a mother-daughter relationship is something that is really powerful. So just tell us this. Tell us about your story. Tell us what happened to your mom? What was that like? Take us up to today.
Well, I was around 9 years old when I found out my mother was sick. She died of AIDS. She died. They had a funeral. I didn't talk for maybe like 2 years. I stayed with different relatives.
But wait, did you talk before?
I talked before, but my mother was my world. My mother was my world. No matter what she was doing, streets and drugs or whatever, I was always there.
Yeah.
Nothing ever happened. You know, yeah, maybe like 8 or 9. She was sick. She passed away. She passed away March 9th, 1995. In my room with my grandmother. She was home. She didn't want to be in the hospital. My auntie at the time was a registered nurse. So we brought her home and she would be in treatment home and everything. I just watched her going to went to school every day, rock her good grade, never even try to talk to her, but she was slightly slipping away. I, grandmother. Yeah. My grandmother at the time was an alcoholic. Yeah. Look at you. um, I was the only child in the house. I had 2 other brothers, but they was older than me, so they was gone. So I'm raised by alcoholic. Other family members that I stayed with or get mistreated, molested. And I just had a rough life, growing up. I didn't have a real childhood. Lost my virginity young, not my choice, but it happened. I say around 12, 13, moved with my grandmother back with my and she moved to Georgia, to Georgia with her. And I say, baby, I was 14 and I got pregnant. I had a miscarriage, lost the baby. I was in the eighth grade, lost the baby. Then my grandmother shipped me off to another family member. So I was going back and forth with family members, not getting the proper love and support that I needed. No one had custody of me. I didn't know that until I got older. So I was going to school, dropped out of school at ninth grade, was introduced to drugs, cocaine, alcohol, just living wherever I could live at.
And this was in Georgia.
In Georgia.
And you were
Around 15, I got in contact with another family member that stayed in Miami. I moved with them. They had other kids. It was hell, not having your own parents or not having nobody that understands you, and believe in you or whatever. No support. Long story short, around the age of, I'm gonna skip to like 17, 17. I ran into a stepsister. I moved with her. She was on drugs also. She also died HIV. 18, I ended up getting pregnant with my daughter. That's now 21 years old in college. She's taking up law school. At the time, I still was a young parent. I couldn't support her. So I did the best thing I could do is let her go stay with her grandparents, which is her dad's parent. Her dad was in jail, did 5 years in prison. He got out and I just decided to let him raise her, because I still wasn't stable yet. I still wasn't stable. I still was out there in the streets. I still want to, you know, be out there.
And how were they?
They're very supportive. They was Christian people. They never judged me. They just always, they never said anything about me to her, as she got older, she just realizing like my woman wasn't there. She knew I was on drugs, skipped a little bit after school. She did academic in school, honor student, graduated 15 in class, top 15, valedictorian. I'm very proud of her. Right now, we're not eye to eye, but I just give it to God that we're gonna make the relationship work. She's in North Carolina at Central University doing law school. I took her to college. Me and her father took her to college. We wished her off. She's doing good.
Now, are you still close with her?
Yeah, we communicate. That's how we communicate. I talk to him and tell me about her.
Okay.
You know,
So he's up there.
no, he's down here. I couldn't say anything bad about my baby's father. He's the best father I can have for my child. She doesn't want for anything. She never did want for anything. I just always wanted her to have the best life, like more than that, growing. So she'd have to go through that. They skip a little bit. 2024 was a bad time for me. I was on drugs real bad. Like 2 years ago, I was on what they call Molly, which is like the ecstasy drug, smoking, drinking, in the strip clubs. Just ready to give up, actually. Like 110 pounds. I just gave up.
And you're in Miami.
I was in Miami. Maybe last year, March, I called the rehab helpline to come get me. I went to rehab for the first time in my life. I was scared, sick. I went to rehab and, I just got tired. I just was like, I'm ready to get myself together. So I went to rehab. I left early, but I ended up going back last year, September the 10th. And I've been good ever since then. I came down here for treatment. So September of this month, I'll be a year clean of drugs. She's crying. I'm so proud of myself. Yeah, I get through a lot as a female, but I don't look like what I've been through. She's crying. She's gonna make me cry.
Stop crying.
No, crying inside. I'm happy with myself right now. I did move back to Miami, but I stay in a very quiet community. It's quiet. I'm isolated from everybody. I come down here every day and commute. I get on a train every day to come down here to come to work.
But why would you choose to be there?
I used to stay in Atlanta.
Okay.
I was in a sober house.
Okay.
I finished the sober house. And we're not married yet, but my fiance, so to be, is he found this a place. Nice place. I got the program and now I'm doing another step. You're paying my bill, coming to work every day, and I'm happy. Well, 165 pounds. and I'm healthy. I don't have STDs. I don't have anything. It could have been worse.
Okay, let me ask you this. Up until like you talked about everything that you've gone through,
Mhm.
what would you say now to someone that you're looking that's had that? What would you say to
Don't give up. Talk to somebody. Don't isolate. You don't have to go through this.
maybe if you just say, okay, I need like the first time in my life
Okay. I was getting high, and one night I was looking at the TV, and I started hearing voices. The drugs were making me do crazy things. They was making me schizophrenic. I was hearing things. I was believing that people out to kill me. I was believing that I wasn't safe for me. So one day I was getting high, and that number came across the TV, and I just called it. Now I called the police on myself because I was so afraid to go outside, and I told them that I was schizophrenic, bipolar schizophrenic, and I wasn't taking my medicine. And I was just tired and I was scared. Like I was tired of hearing the voices. I was tired of not eating. I was tired of not going to sleep. I was just tired. I was really embarrassed. I looked. I didn't want to be around nobody. I felt like no one loved me. I just felt so down. I went to my breaking point. I was to my lowest that I never been like that. Couldn't fend for myself anymore. I couldn't feed myself. I couldn't do anything. I was just like, I couldn't do it. And I always think about my mother when I get, when I was like that. I always thought about my mother. Like, I know she watching over me. I know she got something that's coming for me. So I just did what I had to do. I just turned 40 in July. Every year that I get older, because my mother died when she was 33. So every year that's her older is a big step for me. So that's what I did. I just stayed positive. I try not to be who I used to be. I try not to be mean to people. I just speak the truth. And I don't lie to myself anymore. I used to lie to myself a lot. Like,
apology? Because that has to be shameful. That has to be
because
the
when
big things.
you hide so much. I was tired of hiding. You know, you can't hide certain things. There's certain things like no one said rehab. It retrained my brain, as they say. They retrained my brain. You have to talk about things. You can't hold it in. It'll weigh you down. Like stress, it will kill you. It's not good. And a lot of girls don't know a lot of people's stories, but I just know my story, and I know it's stories out there worse than mine. And a lot of girls don't have people to speak to or talk really, or they don't want to talk because they're scared to talk. Right. And I was in a predicament where I was scared to talk, tell somebody something, or thinking it'll be my fault if I say something, or get blamed. Oh, she's lying, this and that. So I just, I just don't. It's a lot of things I just don't do anymore. That life back then, I left it in the past. I don't think about it. I still see people doing the same thing. All I do is just pray for them, hoping one day they'll wake up. Because a lot of us don't come back. Since I left rehab, maybe like 3 people died that I was in rehab with already, and that's scary. I just I don't worry about things I don't have control. I can't worry about things I don't have control. I can't worry about what's gonna happen tomorrow. I can't do that anymore. I can't overstress myself. Every day I live day by day. That's what I do. I live day by day. A lot of people be like, "How can you live like that?" I live day by day because it's pizza time. I can't plan for what's gonna happen tomorrow.
You know what? Yesterday is history.
Yeah,
Tomorrow is a mystery.
that's it.
And today is the only.
That's why I live like that now.
There's a lot of people that you have. There's a lot of people that end up doing suicide and all kinds of things. That was the biggest thing to me. And you have somebody that's strong that can share that story. That helps people realize what's possible. Because look at everything you've overcome and overcome and overcome. And to be able to do that, that's first of all, that's meaningful for your heart. Because one of the things that a counselor told me one time, and it was the most profound thing, and I told moms this all the time. She said, "Your kids are they're going to watch, see So the best thing you could do for them is if you want that for them, that's what you should do. But a lot of people, as their parents, you talk to their kids like, you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to go here. And they don't, that's not what kids need. And that's not what they even listen to. So for her to see you having a life that is healthy and happy, what's the best thing?
That's the best thing to be. Man, I went to her graduation. Oh, I know. It's so embarrassing because I was rejected. It was so embarrassing for me. I looked at the graduation pictures and I cried. I cried because here's my daughter graduating. And my mother looks like Brit.
Okay, so she's going to graduate.
You look really good right now. I have to say.
When did she graduate?
Yeah, been with you before.
So she's been on here.
1 year. Ain't it?
So, on the,
Yeah. I just stay positive. Like back then, I would never did nothing like this. Nothing like this. Nobody interviewed me, but
I pushed the envelope.
hey, I was so excited when you asked me. I promised you, I was like, well, I'm gonna get interviewed. My little 5 minutes of fame. I'm just running.
Never do it. But you
You
know
know?
what? It's a true story. And that's
Mhm.
what I love. It's the truth. It's the truth now. They don't want to hear all this fake stuff.
I just I'm just blessed. I believe that God has another plan.
For sure.
I keep going so hard. Like I can't give up. Like, I said I would never go. I would never go to the deepest. I was at my lowest with no friends, nobody, and nothing. And I still have myself. I'm still by myself. I'm doing everything on my own. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. My daily, my daily bread, I read it. Have daily affirmations come to my phone. I just try to stay positive. It's a lot. I just change. Like I'm a change going. I really am.
Well, and can you see like every step of that? What can you see the lesson, Jerry?
All of this. Everything I went through. Everything I went through, I'm glad I did go through it. And I learned on my own, and I'm just glad that I'm strong, and I came up out of it, because some girls don't. I made a path and I just did what I had to do for me. And I'm just glad that I'm still living. I'm a chosen. I am a chosen. I am. But we all are chosen. He only deal with the strong ones, the weak ones and the strong ones. But, I'm the strong.
Yeah, I think everything you have went through and what you have accomplished up to today, right? You take that as a lesson, and I think that is so important. And God works in mysterious ways. How he reached out to you at that point when you hit rock bottom. You're like, I got to save myself. At the same time, he reached out his hand to you, right? And I think that is just so powerful. Your story. I know I'm getting emotional because, I'm thinking, gosh, I had a hard knock life, but it's not. So I am so touched having to hear what you have shared today with us. And I know that not everyone can be as strong as you to take that first step to say, hey, I need help, or let me talk to someone and ask for help. Not everybody can do that. And you did that. And that shows how strong of a person you are. And I have to say, you are the chosen one. And I am so happy to meet you, for you to share your story, to inspire other people. Maybe just like what Marty had mentioned, same situation or situation, to do something for themselves and make themselves better.
Well, I mean, to me, you are so much.
You said you turned 40? You look like you're 30, so don't even. You look beautiful, and I am so.
It's all practice. You've had a lot of practice. So by the time you're 50, you're going to be like, loving life.
Yeah. And this is my life. I'm Tamika and 40 and I have one child and life is great. It's more to life and life is beautiful. I can never see myself on this side. It's like a dream. Every day is like a dream to me. Still a dream because I just can't believe it. You know, but I'm staying for it and I'm gonna continue to go.
So Tamika, before we end, I want to just give you a little to reflect. What helped you then?
What helped the most is my daughter. I thought about her nonstop. Just reflected back on me losing my mother and she's feeling like she lost her mother. You know, that's how she took it. When I saw her graduate, that what really did it. Seeing her not, communicating with me so much, that did it to me. I just felt broken inside. I have family, but it's not like, you know what I'm saying? Family is not all family. You understand what I'm saying? So
For sure.
I left that alone, and I just got on my grown woman stuff. And I just did what best for me. If everybody not gonna try to help. You can ask for help. Once you turn grown, you gotta do things like you gotta want to help. You can't say I want help and then wait on somebody else to get you help. No, you gotta do it yourself. You gotta work for it. You gotta do what you gotta do. I did what I had to do. Went to the program twice. And I finished it. To sober house, I did my curfews, I did my chores, I went to my meeting, and I got closer with God, and I understood that the greatest thing is life. I believe anything, I just tell everybody is be strong. Be strong. Need help, talk to somebody like we all are God's children.
We forget children. This light right here, this is like school. Okay, when you have Jesus in your life, you have everlasting. You will still not see, and you will always be with. The same will get all close to you. So that's the beautiful thing. This flesh and blood gets in the way because the real life is everlasting. And this is just the lessons. This is just the spirit of virtue. This is a lot of people check out. That's why those of us that have it can do this.
So upfront with everything. I don't know. What you see is what you get. But everything is it's coming from my heart. And it's real. Maybe I can't cry because I'm just so I used to cry all the time, but eventually them tears stop. They stop because I'm happy. I'm proud of myself. I'm very proud. I get up every morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I drive a scooter from my house to the train station. And I park it. That's my everyday routine. So I'm proud of myself.
You
You
should
know.
be proud because you went through so much. You should be proud of yourself. And, with
God, this is
Yeah, I could have, I had episodes, I used to have
Yeah.
episodes. And that was scary. And I just got tired because I knew that wasn't me. I knew it wasn't me. I knew it was something else. That world is so much behind me. Like, so much.
and I think you mentioned something that is so important. When you went through the rehab and all that, right? You personally, that person has to want it to change. If you don't want to change, it's not going to work, right? Yeah, so that is so important, to let people know I have to want to change that, I want to
Right.
break free.
well, but it's different when somebody signs you into something. So it's like,
Oh, I did it myself. I actually called the police on myself.
it is that normal?
It's not.
No, people put people.
They do.
Right?
They do.
Yeah.
I did it myself. Hey, I need help. I need to go to rehab or something. I was in the hospital. And I told him I didn't want to leave the hospital and go back to Miami. I was like, hey, I want to go to a program or something. I don't want to go back to Miami. And I did it. I did it. Did it. And I'm proud of myself. I did it. I worked out every day. I went to the gym. I got more into my programs, working with my counselor, therapy, and I'm here today.
You did. Be
Yeah.
proud. Be proud. And maybe your daughter does not understand right now. She's still young, right? Eventually she will understand from, what Marty had also mentioned, how you present yourself to her. When she sees that, she's going to be so proud of you one day.
You just wait. I'm excited for her.
I'm excited for you. I wish I could.
I will
Oh, I'm left out with the hug, virtual hug.
Say, Marie, come and sit and hug me.
Okay, thank you so much.
It was
Thank
nice
you.
to meet you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Marty.
So that was pretty amazing. It's kind of like a journey for somebody that really went through a lot of pain and a lot of suffering, that she never pointed the finger. And she actually, what was amazing to me was how she got to the place where her daughter was graduating from high school. And she actually was able to look at a picture, and when she saw that picture of a crackhead, that did it for her. It was like, okay, I'm turning my life around. I am not going to be the mother of this beautiful being that I created and be a crackhead anymore. And look at what she's done. It's so beautiful. We would love to know, guys, what your thoughts were about this video and what you got from it and what, your message is and maybe what your story is. Share it with us because that's why we're here. Shane and I are here to put out there real stories of real people's lives because we are all one truly, and we want to help each other and we need each other to be able to do that. So I thank you guys, and I want you to remember, wherever you are in the world, your story matters to us, and we want you to have unlimitless joy. And to do that, we need to all come together. Thank you for being with us.
Yes, everyone, comment, subscribe, and like our video.
Yay! Bye for now.